What's going on? It's Trending Story. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more well informed, make sure to subscribe and active the notifications bell so you don't miss anything.
Alice was sitting on a bench that faces an old fence to her grandmother's garden. She loved to sit here in the evenings and see the sun set off. Sorry for the stormy and badly colored sky vault in bright orange or purple and sluggish shades. Alice used to love to see the color of the sky change, but for 2 years, the girl could not see the beauty of the sunset. Alice went blind after the fire accident. 2 years ago, Grandma's house, where they lived as a family, burned to the ground. There was a wiring short circuit last night. It's a good thing Alice's dad woke up and got everybody and Grandma and Mom and the little brother out. Alice ran out into the yard herself. While the adults fought the flames and tried to save the property, the girl stood nearby, and the margarita looked at the raging elements. Wasn't really an adult before the kids, and thank God. The next morning, the girl complained that she couldn't open her eyes even though she was looking at the Morgana. That's when the parents realized the irreparable damage had happened. Alice was taken to different doctors for all kinds of examinations. No one could determine the cause of the blindness. From a medical point of view, the girl's eyes were fine. They agreed that psychological blindness is what we've seen. Alice was too much in a shock. All the specialists agreed that vision may or may not recover with age. That's how a girl lived in total darkness. She used to come to her favorite bench and look towards the sunset, even though she couldn't see anything. She remembered how much fun they used to be and how much fun they used to have living here. Now my mom and her brother are learning at the mom's sister's house. Grandma was taken in by her old girlfriend, and Daddy lived with the workers in the woods where he worked. At rare moments, now the whole family wasn't getting together, which upset the girl and doesn't add to her health. If they could rebuild their house, if they could live together again every day, Alice dreamed the whole family would gather under one roof at the same table in her head. Alice was imagining what the sunset might look like right now, which she loved to watch before. Now she could only feel it as if warmth was coming straight from the air and playing her face. Then the girl would get up and gently hold the fence and go back to her new home. Although you could call an ex buried treasure in a pile of houses with a big stretch. Alice's mother's older sister lived in such a house almost on bird's eye rights, though she was a mother with many children. But the house was run by her mother-in-law. They should have been glad she let them learn from them and should have been as quiet as possible. And everybody was dissatisfied as in the environment one could hope for a return of vision. One night, sitting on her bench, Alice remembers how particularly good she was at school, and then the sunset. In autumn, it was as if nature gave everybody its colors last before the long colorless winter. Orange and purple waves floated in the girl's imagination and suddenly began to form into images. First, she saw a big head with her face and ears, where the kick in the face was gray. What a strange dog, thought Alice, and suddenly realized it was a wolf. It's strange why suddenly there's a wolf in her possessions. The image was getting clearer and clearer every day. Alice came to the bench now just to remember the past, but more to see an interesting image of the wolf. The image becomes clearer every day. Soon the girl could already describe where the beast was sitting and why it was sitting and not leaving. Alice saw a scary picture of a wolf's paw, trapped. He was in urgent need of help. The girl called for her brother's help and how she could explain to him where they should go as soon as possible. 2 little preschoolers took a dangerous journey through the woods. The little knight moved the sister's hand to help her cross the trees and cross the ditches. The kids were walking to an old lake in the woods, a big spruce storm that happened a while ago. The roots were sticking out of the ground, and the top almost touched the water itself. That's what the fox has seen in his imagination. Here by the roots of some dislike put his trap. When the kids went out to the lake, the kids wondered how the sister who couldn't see anything could know about the fir tree that fell just last year when they went fishing with Dad. She was gone, or rather she was, but she stood on the shore and grew up unaware of the hurricane's plans and threw her down with her fierce force. The children went around the fir tree, and the child was surprised to see a wolf sitting quietly, whining, trying to free his paw. The wolf looked at the children with a shout of amazement and apparently, having assessed the situation, decided that they could not pose such a terrible danger to him as an animal. Just for precautionary reasons, she left her teeth, but she didn't even scream. Alice told her brother they should help the beast. If she could see it, she could do it herself, but he also fearlessly approached the wolf and tried to free his paw. The wolf was a little crazy about the little man's impudence and straightforwardness that she didn't even try to look for faces. But Vidi didn't have the strength to give birth to Turk's traps. Then, Elisa felt the trap with his hands, and together they freed the wolf. For some reason, the beast didn't run away but stayed with the children. He's almost limp and couldn't step on a sick paw. He still needed help. The knight cautiously remembered the beast's wolf and looked back, feeling no trick in the hearts of sincere children. They slowly brought the wolf home to the backyard gardens. How the landlady screamed when she saw who her guests brought. She stomped on her feet and demanded to get rid of the wolf immediately until she shot him herself and threw everyone out with him. Wondering where her children took the wolf, Alice's mother decided to help the beast first and then ask the children. At the site of the grove fire, the only building that survived was at the barn at the end of the garden. The walls and doors burned a little, but the fire somehow planted this little fragile structure. That's where it was decided to place the wounded animal, and didn't need to drive the wounded wolf past the dogs. Across half the village, the wolf planted a haystack with a piece of the president. The mother carefully treated and tied her paw. The wolf stoically endured all manipulation. In the end, he went after the kids himself and agreed to help people. It was foolish to attack right now and be aggressive with the gray predators, put some food and water, and just leave it alone. In the morning, the Alice and the knight ran to the barn the first thing. Their mom joined the kids, and without interest, the guests touched the food but drank the water. It was a good sign. After 3 days in an improvised hospital, the wolf ate food. But everyone was very excited. It only meant one thing: the beast is on the mend. But it wasn't that simple. Alice's mother-in-law didn't have a Marcello about the wolf. She admitted that the beasts were not chased away but settled in the village. When Alice's mother and Vitya arrived at the weekend, the first thing she told him from the doorstep was that his family found it and dragged a wolf into the village. That's how fashionable it must be now. And you still smoke Rolana all over the place, the Aries. Take him out and show him where the fattest sheep stand. There's no way you could understand Elisa's dad. When the sheep are kept in back, and there were no sheep in the village for a skinny cow, and one at the other end of the village, the cow didn't give milk. So she should have been fed to some shelf a long time ago, but in order not to drive a woman away in front of his family's bullshit, he pretended to be very angry and promised to sort it out. In the evening, everyone and the kids went to see the wolf. When the delegation showed up, the gray predator was gone. The wolf has left his orphanage and returned to the wilderness forest. Apparently, his paw had come to life, and he no longer needed human hospitality. The kids got a little upset. They wanted Daddy to meet their guest and new friend. Dad suggested we all go to the place together and see where the wolf was. Besides, the trap had to be taken off and thrown away so someone else wouldn't get into it. So they did. The road was shown by the night. The most important thing in the process was that the family's surprise when there was still a wolf sitting next to each of the old meals. Of course, he didn't get caught again in the trap that Daddy closed and threw in the lake. The wolf was sitting a little far away, like he was meeting the head of the family. After the captain's destruction, the wolf suddenly started digging heavily under the roots of the spruce, as if it wanted to dig its own hole. Suddenly, he pulled something out of the pit. It turned out to be a huge pot you wrapped up in almost 3 pizzas stuffed with golden royal monsters. Apparently, during the revolution, someone left a treasure under a sample tree and couldn't come back and take it. It was the wolf's gratitude for saving the life of hospitality. Soon the family built a new house in place of the burned one, and we haven't forgotten about the wolf who was nowhere near his new family. In place of the old barn, he had a spacious aviary. We're soon celebrating their housewarming. The mother-in-law who demanded that the wolf be kicked out and even destroyed bites her elbow. Alisa soon recovered her vision. That's such an amazing story, and thank you for listening all the way through.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.